Hello, friends. It's the Carnivore Rabbi. We're here, as my friend Reverend Jimmy says, to meet, pray, and love. And one of the great benefits of the carnivore diet are the benefits that you see. They're visible. For example, people lose weight, people's skin clears up, uh, people they build muscle, or they stand straighter even. Visible benefits of carnivore are tremendous. But even more are the invisible benefits. And that's what I want to talk about today, so that you can discover what some of those hidden benefits are. Because if you know them, you will see even more about how your life is improving and how you can continue to grow and what even further opportunities await you. And my basis for this is a very famous essay written in the 19th century called The Seen and the Unseen. It was written by an economist, a French economist named Frederic Bastiat. And the essay is really about economics and about the effects of government policies. For example, with government stimulus, when government gives money to people, there are many seen effects, which are generally positive, right? You remember with the illness in 2020, people got stimulus money, they spent it, the economy grew, and it helped a lot of people. That's what economic stimulus does. Things grow. There's good visible benefits. But then there are the unseen effects. And the unseen effects often come later. They are less visible and longer lasting, and typically much more destructive. Typically, there's a positive short-term buzz and a negative long-term hidden loss. It's almost like you think with alcohol. You drink and are buzzed and having a good time, and then you have a hangover that can last the entire next day. It's similar. Now, what Bastiat says is that wise politicians, economists, they take into account the potential unseen long-term effects of policy. That doesn't mean you never do things for short-term effect. There's an argument to be made that certain things done in the short term are necessary and critical, but a wise leader foresees the potential unseen effects. Now, I don't want to get into politics, but we probably generally know that most politicians don't do that. They're incentivized for short-term effects, and they ignore, in many ways, the unseen long-term effects. Now, this relates to carnivore in such a deep, profound way. And it's almost the opposite of Bastiat. Whereas with Bastiat and economics, the short-term effects were generally good, and the long-term effects, the unseen, was generally bad. With carnivore, both the short-term visible effects are good, and the long-term invisible effects are even better. So we already know what some of the short-term effects are. You lose weight, skin clears up, just general, you can glow in a certain way. I remember my wife saying something about that about 6 weeks after I started carnivore. But what are the unseen effects? What happens in the long term that we don't even expect or even know? One thing that really hit home for me is an improvement in our intuition, our ability to know what's right and be comfortable in different situations and to act naturally and properly in different situations we don't even prepare for. That's intuition. We're not flooded. We're not drawn by the urgent but unimportant. Our natural intuition is operating. Now, why is that? I think it's because carnivore diet brings us closer to nature. We're doing what nature intended us to do. We're living in the way God, for me, but for other people, it's just the natural order, intends us to live. The world wasn't built so that we could have 24/7 access to processed foods at 7-Eleven. That's not the way humans have lived for as long as we've been around. That's unnatural. The natural way to eat is to draw on what's around us, to have large meals and to feast and fast. That's the natural order. That's the way we're built. And so when we are living closer to that natural way, we're not going to be perfect. We don't live in the hunter-gatherer era anymore, and we can't live totally that way. But when we live closer to nature, our natural intuition operates better. The brain fog clears. We just have greater sensitivities. There's so much going on inside of us that is unseen. There's a very famous Hindu legend about the rider and the elephant, and it's a metaphor for the human being. And the elephant is our unconscious, the unseen, what's going on inside of us. And that's driving us much more than the little rider on top of the elephant. The little rider on top of the elephant doesn't really have much power. The real power lays in the unseen, in the invisible. When we embrace the carnivore diet, we energize the unseen. We let it operate in the proper way, and our intuition gets better and better. And that leads to another unseen benefit, and that's greater opportunity. The word opportunity is really interesting because what is an opportunity for one person is not an opportunity for another person. So an opportunity is abstract. What makes an opportunity is how we look at a situation. It's what's going on inside our brain, what's going on up here. And when we are healthy, when our intuition is functioning, when we are living in our natural state of intelligence and focus and relaxed energy, we see more opportunities around us. It's almost if you have a lot of capital, if you have a lot of money, there are more investment opportunities around you. Similarly, when you are nourishing your body properly and your health is good and your mind is open and clear, there are many more opportunities around you. And that effect compounds. The more opportunities and you can take advantage of, the more you will have in the future. These are part of the unseen benefits of carnivore. It's truly remarkable. It's one of those things where you come for the short term. Many of us, we come for the short-term benefits. We come to clear up our skin, to deal with an autoimmune issue, to lose weight, to feel better, to get away from yo dieting. We come for certain seen short-term reasons. But then we stay because of the unseen. And Frederic Bastiat saw that 2 centuries ago. For him, the unseen was often dangerous. But for carnivores, the unseen is beautiful. So what are some of the unseen benefits, the hidden benefits that you've begun to realize as a carnivore? Let me know in the comments below.